The city of Hedwig Village prides itself on being a quiet community, far removed from the hustle and bustle of the big city. One of the first things that you notice is all of these large mature trees. You start thinking about the community and how closely knit it is. I've had the pleasure of meeting several of the neighbors. Everybody is very interested in what will happen in their community, and I think that's a really positive thing. They get a lot of support at the city council meetings. Everybody wants to know what's going on and how can they help, how can they contribute to the solution.
The city of Hedwig Village is a new client to us, and we're very excited to work with them. This project is very unique, as in it's an older neighborhood, it's an established neighborhood. The residents like the way the neighborhood feels.
Every time I'm out here, I have so much fun meeting the different members of the community, getting their thoughts so that we can consider what they see on a daily basis versus what we might only be seeing for a short period of time as we work on this project. And it helps us create the best product and design.
The city has selected EHRA to do the West Side Infrastructure Project, which is a total reconstruction of 8 roads within the city. We are going to do a little bit of drainage improvement during the construction. It's not necessarily a drainage project, but any improvements that we can make during the roadway reconstruction, we're going to do that.
What's happening out here is you have a compromised storm sewer system in part and dislodged by the root systems for all of these mature trees. The storm sewer pipes out here are also undersized. They've exceeded their service life. So while the primary function for this is not a drainage improvement project, there will be that added benefit to bring the storm sewer system up to current design standards in harmony with the reconstruction of the roadway.
The pavement within Hedwig Village is approximately 40 years old, so it's due for a reconstruction.
With that in mind, the idea for this project is to get it back to current design standards and to give it a future that would give it a healthy service life for the next 50+ years.
I think the city of Hedwig Village and the residents, they're going to be very pleased with what we do with this project. We are taking the input from the community and really implementing that in the design.
Obviously, with all of these large mature trees, we added to our team an experienced arborist. The arborist, to me, is one of the most critical subconsultants that we have. They've been documenting and creating a tree schedule of every single one of these trees. We know them by species, health, caliper, the diameter of the tree, and what so many people don't realize when they consider the longevity and viability of a tree is what's happening below the ground. We have to know where we can or cannot break ground. We have to know what those critical root zones look like. A really interesting aspect about this project is that on the entire footprint of what we're doing, there are 83 documented heritage trees. Those are trees that have a caliper size of more than 24 inches. There are over 130 protected trees, anything with a 10-inch caliper or larger. So just between those two descriptive trees, you've got over 200 protected trees. Beyond that, there are hundreds more that we don't believe will be impacted by this project.
Multiple practice areas are going to be touched within this project. Public infrastructure is the lead. You've got H&H, survey.
We also consulted with a geotechnical engineer to core and add to the existing samples that have already been taken in this place to get a really solid and firm understanding about what the pavement looks like below the surface.
The roadways within Hedwig Village, it's a hodgepodge of some concrete, some asphalt. Also, there's a lot of cracked pavement, handle replacements over the years.
The different layers of maintenance that may have been performed over the last several decades has now reached a point where just rehabbing and maintaining the streets isn't the best viable option. At this point, it's best to reevaluate the entire first foot or two of what we consider the roadway and go and reconstruct the roadway. I believe the EHRA was selected for this project in part and in kind because we worked really hard to develop a positive relationship with the community.
We're a smaller design firm to where we can give it that personal touch that the city wants. You know, we have a vested interest in how the community is. We're only 10 minutes away from this project. You know, we're here within minutes. If a resident has a question or, you know, the city's like, hey, you know, we need to have a meeting really quick.
From day one so far, I would have to say that working with city council, the mayor, the city engineer, and even the stakeholders has truly been a privilege. It's been a nice experience being able to get to know the different homeowners, getting to hear their thoughts. I believe that there are wonderful consultants throughout the city. I also believe that our ability to stay transparent and communicate not only with the city officials but with the community has been vital to our success so far, and we look forward to continuing to build that relationship.